Hi, it's Marina the Soul Alchemist. It's time for Pick Your Own Card weekly guidance for the 16th through to the 22nd of December. So we're getting right close to Christmas, and I'm just going to have a little spray because I've not had a spray of my Akashic Ascension Aura Spray. If you are interested in getting some magic in a bottle, then this is really helps with all of your kind of spiritual practices, meditation, journaling, spell work, of course, connection to the Akashic Records, connection with your cards, or just having a little boost of raising your vibration at any time through the day, then this particular spray is really helpful, and it absolutely does what it says on the tin. To put my teeth back in. Okay, so I am using the Akashic Oracle card deck, which is a modality in a box. I'll just show you that. It comes with a key that you can turn into a pendulum to activate karmic healing, and also a free masterclass to support you, which is why it's a modality in a box. It's not just a deck of cards. So we are going to tune in, and this week it's all about relationships, as in the bonus card, but the relationship theme is very evident through these cards as well. So if you've not had a chance to tune in, it's cards 1, 2, or 3. Pop your answer in the comments below. I would love to know what card you picked. I actually picked card 2, which is really interesting because at the time of recording this is what we are working with. We have gone into the relationships chamber in the Akashic Oracle card certification. We spend a day per card. There's 7 cards in each of the chambers. There's 7 chambers in the deck. And we are in the relationships chamber, and we've started today, and we've started with card 2. So it's interesting that that has come up. There's also another card from the relationships chamber that's also come up. So we've definitely got themes for each of the cards. I would encourage you to listen to each of the cards, because this is going to give you all of your layers for relationships. And we top it off with the bonus card, which is relationships as well. So we have a full moon yesterday. It was full moon in Gemini. Gemini is the fun communicator, seeing both sides of the story. So relationship connection there. So we're going to still be in the energy of the full moon in Gemini today, from Monday. So obviously, if you are listen to this today on the Sunday, then you'll be doing potentially a full moon release as well. So you may want to include some things around relationships to help smooth your family ties, your connections, your bonds. Relationship to self also, of course, and relationships to your wider circle as well. So it's not just about family. So definitely include that in your full moon release. So first card is relationship to self. So wisdom and mastery. So this is really owning your wisdom and mastery, being able to communicate that effectively with others, recognizing your wisdom and mastery and bringing it to the surface. So you can see that she's holding this beautiful spear of light in the throat chakra. She's pulling out her wisdom and mastery from her Akashic records. That's what's kind of going on here. And she's feeling very at peace with this process. You know, there isn't any fear going on in that face. This is like serene, owning my power. I know exactly who I am, but I may not have been telling anybody, or I may not have been telling enough people. I may not be very visible in my business at the moment, or there might be something that I want to get off my chest, but I've not had maybe the courage to share that. I may have some different beliefs, or things have shifted in my own experience, and I'm finding that I'm not really kind of like vibing with the people that I used to vibe with. And there's maybe a fear or reluctance around, you know, sharing your authenticity, sharing your truth in a bigger way. And this card 1, relationship to self, this card is saying you have the power, you have the wisdom, you have the mastery. So this is about owning it and being at peace with it, being firstly at peace with your own wisdom and mastery, being at peace with the fact that we are evolving, we are growing, and it is, you know, that's okay. It's okay to change. Give ourselves permission to change, but also give yourself permission and recognition that that's not always going to be in alignment with everybody else's journey, where people are at, what people are believing in, what people are doing as an activity or whatever. We can find ourselves breaking off and going on a different pathway. And that we don't have to make ourselves wrong for that, but we also don't make other people wrong for that. It's just acknowledgement and acceptance. And this card is about finding the people, finding the tribes, finding your soul, soul connections that appreciate your wisdom and mastery, because that's where you are feeling encouraged, where you are feeling safe to share your wisdom and mastery. That's where you need to hang out. That's what you need to discover, so that you are able to confidently start to share your magic in a bigger way, start to share your light. So this is relationship to self. So it's really just understanding, where are you holding back on your own wisdom and mastery? Where are you not expressing it? Where are you not communicating it in a bigger way? And how can you get to a place of balance and peace and safety to be able to do that, so that you can really shine in a bigger way, or just feel comfortable, or just be able to actually self-express in the way that you want to self-express. So that's card one, bringing your wisdom and mastery to the fore, throat chakra work, but feeling safe and comfortable in being able to do that, feeling authentic. Find the like-minded people that want to hear your wisdom and mastery. Now, if you're already doing this is an acknowledgement card that you're doing that. Time to go bigger. So where are the fears around you going bigger, bolder, brighter, bigger stages? Where is that fear coming up, and why is that fear coming up? So just notice that as well as I say that. How can I go bigger, bolder, brighter? And there could be like all sorts of fears that come up around that, resistance that comes up around that. It's going to be too much work, too much energy. I haven't got enough support. I can't sustain it. There'll be all sorts of things that'll be coming up around that. Notice that and just work with it, because that's going to help you to shift what needs to be shifted, so that you can share your wisdom and mastery in a bigger way. That's why this card's come up. So take note. Let me know how that card resonates. And of course, if you want to go deeper, or you want to play along with me each week, you can get cards, but you can also book a one-to-one session with me. You can have a single session, or you can have a subscription where you work with me for 4 sessions over the year. I get to hold space for you. We do 3-month forecasts, and we do Akashic Karmic healing to support you feeling empowered, understanding, what kind of your process or your strategy is going forward, and you're doing it in a very held and empowered way. So it's a real mix of spirituality, psychic, intuition, and strategy, healing, all rolled into one. And we get to have 4 of those sessions per year. So that's on a subscription, because it's really affordable to do it that way. And if you do it on subscription, you also get 1 session for free. So if you want to know more about that, then check out the description below or the comments. Okay, so moving to card 2. This is the card 2 that I had. This is the card that we are working on in the Akashic Oracle card certification at the moment. Also, if you want to join the Akashic Oracle card certification in 2025, I will be reopening the doors in March, just so that you know. So put that in your calendar if you want to go much deeper and you want to be certified in using these cards and activating deep healing, then that is the training to get on. Okay, so family ties. I said this is all about relationships. So where are there perhaps rifts or disagreements that need to be healed, or maybe just settled within family? There might be some, big discord within certain family connections, between certain family members, and there might be just an element of just acceptance around that, and knowing that maybe you've done everything that you needed to do, and you don't need to do any more, even though perhaps your mind is telling you, no, surely there's something more that I can do here. This card is saying you've done enough. You've done everything that you need to do. It's not on you to try and do everything to heal somebody else's relationship. Now, also, if this is kind of within yourself, if you're kind of party to that and you're trying to heal a rift with somebody else, and hand on heart, you feel that you've done everything, you've taken responsibility for everything in terms of your part, you've maybe had a really good look at their perspective, their viewpoint. This is what the tree does. The tree is looking down. It's like a higher self's perspective on all parties that are involved. If you're able to have done that and you feel that you've, maybe compromised, you've come from a place of love, you maybe have done some activations and some healing and sent unconditional love to the other person or to the situation, elevated consciousness, all of those types of things, and it's still not happening, then this card is saying just allow, accept. Whatever is going on at the moment, maybe it just needs a bit of a period of gestation. The law of gestation, it needs maybe a little bit of divine timing. There maybe just needs to be some things that need to evolve in the ethers to understand what the next step is or how this is going to move forward. And that moving forward might be the letting go, that might be a letting go from you. It might be the letting go from the other person. So this could be family ties, but this can also be friendships, people that feel like family. So it doesn't have to be necessarily blood. It can be people that feel very close to you as well. So if there's a situation that has been of discord, then this is an acknowledgement card to know that it's time to maybe step back if you have done all of those particular pieces. Now, if you haven't, like, maybe seen the other person's viewpoint, if you haven't gone from a higher self's perspective, if you've not gone from, like, seeing the situation from a place of love, maybe showed more compassion, less judgment, less criticism, maybe have the idea around compromise and see if you can kind of like entertain that. If you've not done any of those bits and pieces, then this card is maybe asking you, is there a potential for you to do that? Is there an opportunity to you to consider any of those aspects? And it might not be that it's not, because whatever the situation is, it might be just that you're too much in the emotional wounding, or the other person is too much in the emotional wounding. They feel hurt, they feel betrayed, whatever it might be. Then again, that's a period of stepping back, sending healing, sending love, and just allowing things to unfold as they need to naturally unfold. So that's one message that comes through with this particular card, is seeing things from a different viewpoint. This card is about people coming together. So it is, for me, it does feel like there's reconciliation there, but it may just not be on your timeline. So there's a period of patience. There's a period of just like waiting and trusting that the reconciliation, whatever way that that is, and it might not be a reconciliation in the way that you are hoping or trying to have the outcome. That reconciliation, as I've already mentioned, might be a parting of ways, but that is the way that the relationship can be reconciled, where things can be healed, things can be cleared. Reconciliation, of course, can be the compromise, the understanding, the compassion, and the movement forward, the growth, the lesson that comes from that as well. So reconciliation is the big word with this particular card, but I'm inviting you to see it from a different perspective and just see if you've done all of the little checklist around how you are viewing this discord. It could be past discord, as in like somebody from the past where this discord is, and there could still be a feeling of like emotional hurt or trigger of some kind, anger, hurt, wounding, resentment, hate. There might be still some elements of energy that are still there that are again coming up to be reconciled, to be healed, to be released. And of course, what we've not mentioned here is forgiveness. So if there's any forgiveness for yourself, relationship to self, any forgiveness that can be offered, to potentially somebody else to reconcile, but not from a place of having to, or guilt or shame. it's from a heartfelt yes, taking responsibility and forgiving, then that's also an option here as well. So family ties, reconciliation in whatever shape or form that is, take the higher viewpoint, what would love do in this situation to reconcile in some shape or form, family connection, not just family as in blood, but it can be close people, soul family, those types of things. Okay, so that's card 2. Let me know how these cards are resonating. As I say, we've got different layers, different levels of relationship. Card 1 is quite different to card 2. Go back to listen to card 1 if you've not listened to card 1, because that's going to give you some insight around you personally and what you can do to really elevate your relationship with yourself, but also with others in a bigger way. Okay, so we come to card 3. Let me know how the cards are resonating. So card 3, again, relationships, directly out of the relationship chamber, and it's ancestral heritage. Now, this is interesting as well. I find that interesting anyway. There's 7 cards in the relationship chamber in the Akashic Oracle card deck. The family ties is the first one, and the ancestral heritage is the last one. Both have come up. So it's almost like we're being held in the relationships chamber for the next week. And of course, we are working through the relationship chamber in the certification also. So it's just all aligned. So ancestral heritage. So for you, if you've picked card 3 as your specific main focus, then we've got community, we've got obviously ancestral, opportunity here for healing perhaps, and that can be health healing, stuff that's within the genetic, paternal, maternal lineages. It can be, ancestors that that you've not connected with, you never knew, but you maybe feel called to spend at least one time this week just offering up some healing to your ancestors, honoring your ancestors, maybe unlocking some of those gifts that your ancestors had that you have access to but you've not unlocked. It's also spending time with your family this week. So you may be called to maybe do a surprise visit. You may have some gatherings coming up over the next week where you're getting together, and that could be to celebrate because we're in the festive season, but it also obviously could be birthdays, it could be anniversaries. So you might find that there's this community connection, tribal gathering, bringing people together, and you might be the person that's organizing that. It might be that you're just helping out, but there's definitely this coming together, gatherings that are happening this week. It also obviously can be community gatherings, soul tribe gatherings, and that can be online, it can be in person, but this is definitely about coming together in some shape or form. I would definitely suggest if there's like a meditation or something that you can do where you can honor your ancestors this week, and send some healing down to your ancestors for the highest good of all concerned, even if you're just kind of getting your pendulum out and you don't have to do a meditation, you just get your pendulum out and you just like want to send unconditional love to all ancestors, maternal, paternal line, throughout all of your lineage, throughout all of the Akashic records for the highest good of all concerned. And just allow your pendulum and that intention, that invocation to send that unconditional love. And then you might want to add in some divine source light to activate any healing that the ancestors may require. There's lots of things that we can do that don't need to take very long. It's about intention, and it's about just getting our tools out, or not even our tools, but just setting that intention and declaring it's the universe. And the universe and our guides take care of it, but it's that intention that you are wanting to honor your ancestors, and just send an invocation, a blessing of some kind. We've got blessings coming through here. This is about gatherings, it's about love, it's about connection, it's about not feeling alone. So if you are feeling a little bit on your own this week, then reach out to somebody and just to have a quick chat, just and don't be scared, although we might bring in a lot of shame around this, to say like I'm feeling a bit on my own, I just wanted to chat to somebody There's no shame in that. Although, our ego may tell us otherwise. But if you are feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit on your own, then reach out to somebody. You don't have to be. Absolutely don't have to be. And of course, reach out to me if you feel that if you're in that position and you haven't got anybody that you feel that you could do, then I'm offering an open connection there for you to reach out. So ancestral heritage, community connection, feeling part of something bigger. There's also collective energy here as well. So part of the collective, sending out love and healing, unconditional love and healing to the highest good of all, of the collective, all sentient beings throughout all time and space. So lots of ways that we can feel connected. We're connected energetically anyway, through the light, through the quantum field. But this is physical connection as well. So let me know how these cards are landing. You can see how we've got all of these different relationship threads all running through. If you've missed any of the 1, 2, or 3 cards, please go back and listen to them. You've got a full layering of different types of themes that are going to help your life area of relationships. And we're just topping it now off with the relationships bonus card, which is going to give you further insight and wisdom. So it's vows of poverty. So what this card is requiring, offering, inviting you to do is to look at your relationships that do not feel rich, that do not feel nurturing, that do not feel nourishing, do not feel safe. Now, I say this because what we've got is this beautiful money, which for me is the sparkle, the richness, the prosperity, the wealth of relationship and connection, healthy connection, supportive connection, encouraging connection, soulful connection, spiritual connection, whatever you want to term it as, fun connection, quirky connection, connections that support your soul's evolution and growth and your lessons. They're the more triggering ones. But there's still an element of all of that I've already mentioned. And I'm really drawn to the planks. I've never, or the tops of the table, but it feels a very solid surface. And that's where, for me, the element of safety is coming in here. So if you don't feel that you have safe, solid relationships that are rich and prosperous and wealthy and nurturing, or have the opportunity to be, then this card is saying, why are you still connected? How is that relationship serving you? And maybe we need to be a bit honest with ourselves, and that's okay, because when we can admit things to ourselves, then that can start a healing process. It might be that we're staying with a relationship because we are dependent on them for money. Vows of poverty coming up there. There's a belief maybe that we can't survive with that person because they do a lot for us physically, mentally, emotionally, but also they probably are disabling us in a lot of those ways as well. Where we feel there's an enabler, there's going to be the polarity of that as well. With this card, there's an opportunity to rewrite a relationship. So we can stay in our relationships and we can nurture them and we can change and evolve them so that they become something else. This is what the blank piece of paper is. But first of all, we've got to recognize which of those relationships perhaps don't feel rich, prosperous, and wealthy, and they don't feel stable. And this card is just offering an opportunity for you to just delve a little bit deeper and just acknowledge, shine some light on some of the relationships. This whole reading is around relationships. And as human beings, we thrive in good relationships. We are wired for connection. We need to survive. I mean, that's part of our survival mechanism, is to have connection. Now, it's down to us from a conscious perspective on whether we fill our connections with healthy, thriving relationships, like the majority of them perhaps, Or are they all quite poor and have us feeling in poverty, as in lack of love, lack of support, lack of encouragement, lack of self-expression and creativity, authenticity? Where are we keeping ourselves poor within our relationships? It's a bit of a deep question, and it might feel uncomfortable, but it's a question worth asking. And of course, if it feels a little bit too much, then I would recommend that you do that with somebody that is, that can hold space for you, can activate healing as part of that process, which then makes it feel more manageable to be able to look at these things and start to make micro shifts. We don't have to make any rash decisions about anything. Acknowledgement and admitting to ourselves, I'm in a relationship that actually I don't particularly like. Okay, I'm not going to self bad or wrong for that. I'm not going to shame or guilt myself and tell myself that I've wasted all of this time up until this point, because what is that going to serve? This is just an acknowledgement. Okay, so this is how I feel. This is what I'm recognizing. So what is the first thing that perhaps I can do about this? Maybe I just send healing to myself and a bit of forgiveness to myself, and I just start there. And then I'll just see what next step shows up, what idea or inspiration shows up. But the sooner that we acknowledge it and we admit to ourselves that there's something just not in alignment with who we are now, it was then, but it's not now because we're all evolving and growing, then we allow a healing process. We allow some light to come into that. And the light shows us the way. The light heals. So yeah, if you need any support around that, if you've got any ideas, or if you want to pop some ideas in the comments below for other people that maybe are really struggling with that, then please do. This is a community where we can share. And of course, if you need deeper healing or deeper support, then you know where I am. I can do that in various ways. Or if you just want to start with actually having the Oracle card deck where you can activate some healing around all of these topics that I have shared with you today, then get the deck of cards. It's an empowerment tool and it will literally change your life. It can potentially change your life because it's giving you access to the Akashic records where you can shift energy, you can unlock things, you can heal, and you can activate anchoring success. There's so much you can do. Okay, so have a beautiful week. It was a deep, meaningful week, but I think it's an important week because this is, for me, foundational steps for having the most amazing 2025. Relationships is a massive part of our life. And if we can start to work with laying new foundations for 2025, we set ourselves up in a really solid way to stand in our power, be in our authentic truth, and also recognize where we need to make the tweaks, the shifts, the changes as we evolve and grow, but we also support those that are around us to evolve and grow as well. Okay, so love and blessings, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.